My name is Graham Hooper. I live in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia now and have for the last 10 years. I also lived here as a child, and this is pretty much home to me. When I was sort of a preteen, I noticed that my energy level, more so than my moods, my energy level would not match up with what I was necessarily experiencing. And looking back on it, if I look at my school, for example, high school, there'd be one year that I was very ambitious and would get involved in a variety of sports, and other years it was just enough to get to school and back. And when I was a little older, I talked to doctors about depression, but not bipolar. I wasn't diagnosed with that until I was living in Toronto and was almost 30, when I had a manic episode that went right over the top and I ended up in hospital. And I had a grasp of what it was, but not a great understanding of it. But it was sort of, aha, this makes sense. The diagnosis answered a lot of questions for me. In one sense, it legitimized that I wasn't just being moody or temperamental. So I was actually relieved when I got a diagnosis. It's out in the open with the family that, as I said, it's different what a 7-year-old understands or what my wife understands, but they know that I do certain things to stay well. Things like sleep are important to me and stuff like that. I've talked about it a lot with Verna, who is 18, so that she can understand it a bit better. Sometimes I couldn't get enough sleep, and sometimes I didn't need to sleep at all. I'd go 2 or 3 days. And at times, especially when I was a little older and working as a musician or in shows, I used to use the expression sleep's for beginners, and I could get so much done, but eventually everyone wears out, and I would. And now it's a real telltale sign of where I am, whether I'm up or down. The music seems to be the constant. I've had a lot of different jobs or career opportunities in different areas, but music has always been there, and I started playing music as a small child, and it is a form of employment in one sense, or a career, but in another sense it's also a form of therapy. I played for hours as a teenager, just by myself. I wouldn't want to deal with people and stuff, but I had that to go to. There's a few people in my life who have mental health issues that have really helped me when I finally got to the point of accepting, rather than fighting with my illness, accepting it. And part of that is working with peers, informally just talking with them, or working directly with them, or even people I don't know, if you've got some common ground. And I find that keeps me well, keeps me balanced. Our Voices Matter project is a project I've been working on for the last year, and it's through CMHA Halifax Dartmouth branch that I'm doing it, and it's interviewing mental health consumers over the age of 50 and telling their stories. And I find it really interesting because these are stories that you don't normally hear, and I think it's a side of mental illness that people don't see. And I don't think you get that from medical reports. I don't think you get that from statistics. So I find that project really meaningful. One of the interesting things that I'm involved in is dealing with capital health and collaborative care, or patient-centered care. Right now, I think people here have realized that patient-centered care and collaboration has been very successful in other parts of Canada and other parts of the globe. A different culture of care rather than different techniques of care. And I've been fortunate to be part of a group as a consumer and also as a service provider to help sort of shape how that's going to happen here. There's also a new strategy that's taking place in the province, and I've been able to assist with some of that. And I think things are changing slowly, but I think for the better.